But in closing, I will just say a few words before I let you all out. Ultimately, as we've seen today, this engagement is certainly a process, and at times it can be quite slow. We've just been here a couple of years thinking about these issues, and I can tell you that it is sometimes revisiting the same thing year after year. But we cannot be timed, I believe, in these efforts dealing with the challenges of cybersecurity, or in our attempts to try to fix some of the problems that we've talked about today. But we also must be willing to change our minds, and you saw some of that today, or at least be mindful of others' positions and other policies when we realize that there may be greater benefits if we do change our mind. Also, when failure occurs, which it surely will as we engage with each other and have our ideas of what best to do, or an obstacle arises, I strongly believe that we cannot resign ourselves to those challenges and give up at that point. But we have to persist, as a few of us here at Georgetown will persist in these efforts. I believe all of us as a community have to persist, again, trying other options. And how do you do that but through continued collaboration, consultation with fresh ideas and policies, agreements, processes? For the policies that we decide in the next decade will determine the global agenda for decades to come. The results will influence global security for generations to come. And those decisions by the government and business leaders of one country will have profound implications, not just for that nation's citizens, but for the people around the world who are increasingly united in their reliance on a broad, distributed space that is neither a commons nor the property of one government or one company or one cultural group. The threats that exist in cyberspace are truly undeniable. Answering them will certainly be difficult at times and also sometimes perilous, but something we all have a stake in doing. With fortitude, we must engage in these efforts, not so much for our own immediate benefits, but for the continued benefits that technology will bring to the world of our children's children. My final thought is that we should all be quite proud of where we are today and excited and maybe a little concerned about where we are headed. And before I let you all go today, I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you for attending our conference and bringing your expertise to our gathering. You all, as leaders in the public and private sector, have the vision, the knowledge, and the wherewithal and the experience to help us pave our way together as an international community into the future. It is truly incumbent upon all of us that touch cyberspace to find what U.S. President Eisenhower once called essential agreement on issues of great moment, the wise resolution of which will better shape the future of the nation, and I would add, arguably the global community. Special thanks to all the sponsors. You've seen there on the signs at lunch and here today. Each year, I'm quite overwhelmed by the generosity of the corporate sponsors. Without them, this conference would not be possible, and I am so truly grateful each time they step up to the plate and say, okay, Catherine, your idea is not so crazy, and let's see how we can have a nice day. And they all chip in. Thanks to each and every one of the sponsors for being a wonderful partner in this event every year. And a special thanks to my good friend, my mentor, my longtime confidant, my dissertation committee advisor, Tony Aaron, who gives me the cover I need here at Georgetown to make sure someone's not going to fire me if I do something crazy at this event or bring something that might be thought as controversial. And for the students, which is truly only a handful of us that put this together every year, Allison, who stuck with me for the last couple of years, and for those young students, not many of which who showed up here today, so I will be chasing down quite a few of my students to ask where they were, but they were busy studying for finals, I'm sure. But Alexandra, who worked really hard, and Allie, Andrea, and Rachel. It was wonderful to work for them and work with them on this event. So I wish you all well, and I hope to see you here next year. Thank you for spending the day.